bring Marc Thiessen on this. It's quite a day shaping up here. Marc, welcome back. The middle class, with their pension money and 401ks, they've lost 10, 20, perhaps 20% or more. Is that going to affect the president's political popularity and his ability to get things through Congress?
You're exactly right, Stuart. I mean, look, I love the Trump agenda. I love what he's doing on the border. I love what he's doing in foreign policy to restore American leadership on the world stage. I love DOGE. I love his plans for pro-growth tax reform. All of that's put at risk if he loses his political capital with the American people over this. Right now, he's got a political honeymoon. He's been elected. The American people are rooting for him to succeed. But if you wipe out a third of people's retirement funds, that's a good way to lose political capital. So it really depends on what he does going forward. Is this a strategy to gain revenue, or is this a strategy to negotiate with countries to get them to lower their barriers to U.S. exports? If it's the latter, this could be the biggest free trade move any president has ever made, because Kevin Hassett says that we pay $370 billion to other countries in tariffs and we only take in 50. If you can get them to lower $370 billion worth of tariffs on American exports, all of a sudden, the economy is going to be booming, and American jobs are going to be going through the roof. But if you're imposing $370 billion in tariffs to take in the revenue, that's a whole different story. And those are contradictory objectives. You can't negotiate and lower the tariffs and also expect the revenue. So he has to decide what he's trying to do with these tariffs.
It's really all about negotiating, isn't it? I mean, I want you to listen to what Agriculture Secretary Brooke Rollins had to say about tariff negotiations. Here we go, Agriculture Secretary.
We've got 50 countries that are burning the phone lines into the White House up, and probably the president's cell phone as well, and probably Howard Lutnick's as well. And I've heard from some as well. This is the ultimate deal maker who is a businessman at the head of our government. Finally, that the American people said all swing states, all the popular vote, tariffs were a part of his plan.
Marc, my position is, it's too early to pass judgment on the whole tariff policy because we're right in the middle of it and we don't know how the president will negotiate the art of the deal. Last word to you.
Yeah, I think he's in a great position to negotiate right now. You've got countries coming to Israel has said they want to remove all their tariffs on U.S. goods. Other countries have said the same thing. So if he's a great negotiator, if his goal is to negotiate and get other countries to reduce their barriers to U.S. exports, that would have never happened without this. These countries would not be coming to us if he hadn't done this. But if his goal is to keep the tariffs in place so that we can bring in revenue, then that's a whole different thing. So I think the White House really hasn't decided or hasn't explained to us what its objective is. If it's to lower barriers to U.S. exports, I'm 100% with this strategy. If it's to raise barriers to bring in tariff revenue, that's a whole different ball of wax. I think it's going to be very damaging to the American economy and to Trump's presidency.
Marc Thiessen on a Monday morning. Thanks for joining us, Marc. We'll see you again real soon.